Bart here, Bart's Wood Shop. Thanks for joining me again. Today's project, I bought this bowl blank. It's a pretty nice piece of wood. It's a Brazilian hardwood, and it is called, I'm probably not pronouncing it right, but Angelum Pedra. It is a Brazilian hardwood, like I said. And I think another name for it is Angel's Heart. So I figured I'd try something a little different. I've never actually used a bowl blank before, usually because they're very expensive. I don't know if you can read that, but this one here was $18. And that's the name that they have written on the wood, Angelum Pedra. Like I said, I'm probably not pronouncing it right, because I'm not a wood expert. But from what I've read on it, it comes from Brazil. These trees grow up to 500 feet and like 50 feet wide. They're just massive, massive hardwood trees. So we're going to see what it looks like. We're going to work it down into a bowl and try it out. Why not? See how okay, so here we are at the lathe. I took it over to the saw and I cut the corners off of it just to kind of semi-round it so that I'm not banging so hard with the chisel on the corners. Here's my little cut-offs. It's got some really pretty wood grain in there. I'm not sure how well you can see it on the camera, but it's got some real nice waves and dark spots and low light spots. It looks really nice. The thing is, it stinks. I don't know. It's hard to describe. It just smells like, I don't know, but it doesn't smell good. A lot of wood that I've turned has got a nice sweet smell to it. It's, you know, pleasurable, and it's got that good earthy smell to it. This kind of smells like, yeah, I don't even know what to describe it as, but I don't like the smell of it at all. So I put a little 1/4-inch hole. I'm going to use my worm screw, and we're going to get this thing on here, and hopefully I can deal with the stink of this wood long enough to get it turned good and well. But yeah, that's weird. You know, every wood has its own fragrance and aroma. This particular one, it's not very good. So let's get her in place here. Alrighty. That feels pretty solid there. Let's put a little tailstock support on there. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the deal is on why this wood smells so unpleasant. To me, who knows? Maybe some people like the smell of this. I don't know. Very strange. Okay. Got that sucker up. Make sure all my pieces are good and tight. For a little spin. Alright, let's fire this thing up, see what she looks like. Okay, looks pretty steady. Doesn't seem to be any wobble. Let's round her out. I find for as far as being round, Now I'm going to start cutting a tenon on this side so that I can get it off the worm screw and flip it around when we're ready to do the inside. So what I'm going to do, we're going to back this guy off a little bit. Work this back. I'm going to pull out the live center and put a Jacob's chuck in there. And let me get a big Forstner bit. And we're going to start the tenon with the Forstner bit. Now this Forstner bit's still a little too small for the tenon I'm going to need, but it's a good start. It'll get me where I need to be. And then I just got to finish it up with the chisels. Move my tool stop rest out of the way. Get this guy in there. Make sure that's loose. And we'll start cutting the center out. It's about as deep as I need it. That's pretty good. So let me take that out. Jacob's chuck out of there. Live center back in. So now I need to get it the size of my chuck, which is about there, give or take. So it needs to be just a little bit bigger. So I'm going to start cutting that out. Alright, this thing is making so much dust I decided to hook up my fancy little dust collector. It's very fine, it's getting in the air, even with my dust mask on it's making me sneeze. So I'm going to fire it up. I don't usually use it in the videos just because it makes so much noise, but I think this go around we're going to need to. So cover your ears, here's the go. Got some really nice looking grain on this wood. I'm going to flip her around now, and we'll be right back. Okay, I'm pretty happy with the way this is coming out. It's got a good thickness to it. I don't want to go too deep on the surface because I got the tenon on the bottom, and I don't want to punch through where the tenon is. So that's going to limit how deep of the bowl I can make it. And I think I'm about there. Yeah, I really like the way this wood's coming out. It's time to do some sanding and some finishing and see how this thing comes. Alright, so I took a scrap piece of wood and I notched it to be the exact same diameter as this bowl. Put it up on the lathe so I could put the bowl up in there to reverse chuck it. It's like a jam chuck. I put a couple of drops of hot glue here and there just to make sure it stays secure. It is a pretty firm fit, so I think it'll be fine. I turn the speed down, way down on the lathe, so try not to make it fly off. And we're going to give it a whirl and see what happens about trying to flatten out the bottom here. Alright, so I finally got it finished on both sides to the best of my abilities. I really need to work on a better reverse chucking system. I know a lot of people just use jam chucks. I don't normally have problems with it, but I think it's got something to do with the density of this wood. But today I'm just going to put some shellac up in here. We're going to get a nice coat on there. Bring out this wood. I tell you, it's a real pretty wood, but it's a hard wood to work with. And again, it stinks. I don't know why. Alright, we are done. The bowl is complete. Real nice looking wood. It's got some pretty grain to it. I really like the way it came out. It's a very dense wood. I had a real hard time getting the bottom right. But it's looking pretty good now. I'm pretty happy with the way it came out. And I will probably be getting some more bowl blanks in the future because I do like the way this came out. It's a nice size. The lathe is, we'll do a 12-inch. This is a little bit over 8. And I think it came out nice. I'm happy with it. So if you like what you saw today, hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe. This way we have, you don't miss anything. I got that rocking chair project coming up here in the future. It's probably going to be a 2-part video. I've already got the first part of it in production, and once I get it all together, we'll get the second part going. So because it's such a big project, it'll be 2 parts. We will see you soon on that rocking chair project. Thanks for joining me, and don't forget, like, subscribe. See you soon.